Focus on the man in the Deadpool costume. Watch him stroll through the college parking lot in broad daylight. For 2 weeks, this guy had been secretly watching and following a student named Lauren McCluskey. Tragically, on October 22, 2018, Lauren vanished. Just 9 days before she disappeared, on October 13th, Lauren went to the college police and said she was getting scary text messages from strangers. Over the next week, she called the police 14 times, begging for help, but nobody listened. 10 days before this video was taken, the college's security cameras showed Lauren meeting with her boyfriend, Sean Fields. Her roommate said Lauren planned to break up with him that day. But there was a big secret. Sean Fields wasn't his real name. We might never know exactly what happened to Lauren if she hadn't left clues to help us find out the truth. She made sure someone would discover what happened to her and expose the man in the Deadpool costume. In 2013, Lauren lived with her loving parents, Matthew and Jill, in a small town called Pullman, Washington. Growing up, Lauren was really good at sports. She was super fast and agile, always impressing her parents. Lauren wasn't just good at sports, she was like a natural athlete. Even as a toddler, she could climb trees without fear. She was really determined. With her parents' support, Lauren kept getting better at sports and found that she was really good at running track. When she was just 10 years old, she came in second place at the USA Junior Olympics. By the time she finished high school, the University of Utah recognized her talent and gave her a special scholarship to go to college there. In September 2015, Lauren and her parents arrived at the University of Utah in Salt Lake City. This big college had over 20,000 students. Lauren's parents were a little worried about leaving their only daughter so far away from home. But Lauren was confident and made new friends quickly, including her best friend, Alex. For the next 3 years, Lauren excelled in everything she did. She worked hard in her classes, did well in her track events, and enjoyed spending time with her many friends. But on the night of September 1, 2018, everything changed for Lauren. It was the start of her last year of college, and Lauren, who had just turned 21, decided to go out for a fun night with her best friend, Alex. On that Saturday night, downtown Salt Lake City was buzzing with nightlife as students filled the streets and bars. Lauren and Alex went to the London Bell, a popular bar known for its live music and dancing. It was only 15 minutes away from their dorm. Before they could go in, a big guy who worked at the door stopped them. He was friendly and introduced himself as Sean Fields and let them inside. He came back to talk to them a few times during the night. Around midnight, the girls decided to go home and get some sleep because they had to study the next day. As Lauren was leaving the bar, a man put his hand on her shoulder. It was Sean, the bouncer she had talked to earlier. They talked for a while, and he asked her to go out on a date. She gave him her phone number, and they made plans to go out later that day. On September 2nd, Lauren got ready for her first date with Sean. Lauren had never had a serious boyfriend before, and so far, Sean seemed perfect. He was kind, friendly, and paid attention to her. They both enjoyed talking about their college life because he was also a student studying computer science. Even though he was a little older than her, at 28 years old, Lauren felt safe and happy with him. At the end of the date, the young college student went home with a big smile on her face. Sean was everything she hoped for, a kind and hardworking student who also had his own job. He took her to dinner, gave her flowers, and asked her to be his girlfriend. She seemed really happy about their relationship. It started off really well, like a dream come true. But soon, Lauren's close friends noticed some strange things about her new relationship. It didn't seem as happy and loving as it first appeared.
She said he told me to wear a t-shirt and jeans, so that's why I'm wearing this.
Her friends started to worry because the independent Lauren they knew was now asking for permission for everything. The way Sean showed affection seemed more like he was trying to control her. He constantly texted and called Lauren, and she always answered because she was scared of what might happen if she didn't. After just a few weeks, Sean spent all his time with Lauren, almost like he lived in her dorm. He even made friends with other students in her dorm, so he could easily come and go without needing a key card. Lauren became more and more withdrawn and tired, and her friends noticed she wasn't acting like herself anymore. On October 1st, 1 month after Lauren met Sean, things got worse. Sean told Lauren he wanted to give her something. He said it was to protect her. The gift? A gun. When Lauren's friends heard that her boyfriend gave her a gun, they quickly told their resident assistant, Diamond, who worked for the college's housing department. They told Diamond about the problems in Lauren's relationship and how worried they were about her. Surprisingly, instead of telling Diamond to call the police, They told her to send an email to the college security. On October 2nd, the day after Lauren got the gun, college security received the first email about Sean Fields. The email was mostly about Lauren and how she might be in a dangerous relationship. It also said that Sean, who wasn't supposed to live there, was on campus a lot, that he might have gotten a gun for her, and that they thought he might be watching her. But days went by, and nobody responded to Diamond's email. It seemed like nobody cared. A few days later, on October 9th, Lauren made a scary discovery. She found Sean's ID card, but the name and birthday on it were wrong. Lauren immediately started looking for information about him online. She needed to know who her boyfriend really was. She and her friend found a picture of him that looked like he was a sex offender. Lauren found out that the name Sean Fields didn't exist at all. The man she knew as Sean was actually Melvin Rowland, a real person with a bad criminal record. He had been in serious trouble with the law before, including trying to convince a child to do something wrong, trying to hurt someone sexually, and breaking the rules of his release from prison. Lauren even found out that her boyfriend was supposed to be watched by the police. Late that night on October 9th, Lauren was waiting for Melvin to come to her dorm. She now knew about his past crimes and wanted to end their relationship as soon as possible. When Melvin entered her room, Lauren bravely told him everything she had learned. Melvin got very angry and denied everything, but Lauren knew he was lying and told him their relationship was over. After talking for a long time, Melvin finally left. On October 10th, the next day, Lauren thought she was finally rid of her boyfriend, but that wasn't true. She started getting a lot of text messages from unknown numbers. They said they were Melvin's friends. Each text message was scarier than the last, and Lauren, not knowing what to do, responded to them and told them to stop texting her. She blocked their numbers, but more and more people kept texting her. Lauren texted them again and told them she would call the police if they didn't stop. But the messages just got worse. Even though she didn't know their numbers, she noticed many spelling mistakes and grammar errors, which were similar to the way Melvin usually texted. One scary text message said that Melvin had died in a car accident and that Lauren had to go to his funeral. On October 12th at 4:23 p.m., 3 days after she broke up with him, Lauren called the college police.
I've been getting these texts from these numbers of different people. They were saying that he was in the hospital and then saying that that he passed away. I got a text about, asking if I wanted to go to his funeral, and I think they're trying to lure me somewhere.
All right. I will send this through an officer to give you a call. Is that okay?
Yeah, sounds good.
But nobody called Lauren back. Days went by, and the police didn't even give her an update, and the text messages kept coming. At that point, she had already contacted the college police.
We headed to the police department. We went inside. I felt like they weren't taking it seriously. He's a sex offender. He went to jail. And I actually had to Google it myself and hand my phone over to him. I do remember them saying, it's a scam, it's probably a scam.
The case was given to a detective named Kayla Daloff, who was actually on vacation at the time. Even though Lauren told the police all the concerning details, including his criminal history, nobody in the college police department followed up with her. Most importantly, they didn't even check if Melvin was still being watched by the police, which would have made them take Lauren's case more seriously. Worried that she wasn't getting the help she needed, the college student called the Salt Lake City Police Department, which is a bigger police department, hoping they could help her faster. The Salt Lake City police told her to call the college police again, who, after more than a week, still hadn't done anything about her case. But Lauren refused to give up. Over the next few days, she continued to advocate for her own safety, reaching out to the police on over 20 different occasions since she first began exposing Rowland's disturbing past. She was still being harassed and still getting messages. It's October 19th. Melvin had recently bought a Deadpool costume. The comic book superhero movie, Deadpool 2, starring Ryan Reynolds, had come out earlier that year, and Melvin was planning to wear this outfit on Halloween in just a few weeks. But in this footage captured just 10 days after Lauren broke up with him, Melvin is seen lurking around campus, his identity concealed, secretly searching and stalking Lauren. At 4:02 p.m. Lauren has no idea that her ex-boyfriend is stalking her right around the corner. Notice how he holds a small black bag. Police would later discover that inside the bag was a deadly weapon, a fully loaded .40 caliber Beretta. 3 days later, on October 22nd, Melvin is captured again by multiple security cameras lurking around the campus, looking for Lauren once more and holding the same black bag. At 8 p.m. that same day, Lauren finishes her last class and heads back to her dorm alone, like any other night. While walking, Lauren calls her mom. Back home in Washington State, the family routinely calls each other almost every day to chat about their day and how things are going. Matthew and Jill, both hundreds of miles away, are talking with Lauren on speakerphone, when suddenly both parents hear strange noises over the phone, and then the sound of someone yelling. She must have gotten tackled or something because parents heard the phone fell to the ground.
And she said, no. And I knew something was wrong.
And then I sort of hear her being dragged away and her phone fell, and then no one answered the phone.
Lauren's parents keep calling the police.
The landline and dialed 911.
Hi, my daughter, Lauren McCluskey, was talking to her mom, and then she just started saying, no. And it sounded like someone might have been grabbing her or something.
In its attempt to locate a suspect involved in possible kidnapping, the victim is Lauren McCluskey. Her mother heard her yell, no, on the phone. Then the line went quiet.
Police, after weeks of Lauren's calls, finally take the case seriously and desperately look for the missing young woman, searching the area as fast as possible, but nothing turns up. Everyone is now on the lookout for Lauren. At that moment, police might have just received their first lead, when authorities get a phone call from a student who found something while walking through the campus.
Hi, I just found a whole bunch of stuff spread out all over the ground and a phone that had an active call. I picked it up.
Okay.
This woman says...
Yes, I was just on the phone with her parents.
Okay.
I'm having officers responding up that way.
Police find Lauren's personal belongings scattered all over the ground, but she's still nowhere to be found. Dozens of police cars and police dogs surround the area, setting up a perimeter. Worried students across the campus start asking questions. They're getting multiple calls from students wondering what to do. The campus staff issues a shelter-in-place alert and releases a description of the prime suspect, Melvin Rowland. A manhunt begins. Police broadcast his face on television, hoping someone will recognize him. The clock is ticking, and Lauren is still nowhere to be found. Finally, police review the security cameras and notice a man matching Melvin's description heading away from the college grounds. At 8:21 p.m., Rowland is seen leaving the campus parking lot on foot. He proceeded to walk to a nearby light rail station before getting picked up by a driver. Hours go by, and police have no idea where he is or what he's doing, until later that night, a terrified woman contacts law enforcement, telling them she recognizes the man wanted on the television.
When I got home, I saw the picture of this guy, and then I saw that he may have been picked up in a silver Sonata, which is like a description of my car. I saw the picture, but the name isn't the same, or the age.
The woman tells police that Melvin, who once again assumed a different identity, went out with her that evening. She says they had met through an online dating app, and she had agreed to pick him up at the train station before going out to dinner and after spending time at her place. He took a shower at her home, and then left after midnight. An hour later, 1 a.m., Melvin is spotted by a police officer walking near 200 East and 500 South in downtown Salt Lake City.
I have officers chasing your suspect on the shooting.
Melvin runs down the sidewalk, evading police. The officers close in on him, but he slips away, breaking into a nearby church and barricading himself inside. The neighborhood is locked down, and no one knows what to expect next. And then, without warning, gunshots echo loudly. Police must act now. They force their way in through the large wooden doors, guns raised. Once inside, they find Melvin Rowland's lifeless body. While police were on the hunt for Melvin, they were simultaneously looking for Lauren. They found her belongings and searched her dorm, but they couldn't find her. Later that evening, police eventually find the vehicle Melvin was driving, a small silver four-door car. The authorities approach it, examine it closely, only to find a body inside. Acting quickly, the officer calls for urgent medical attention. On the night of October 22nd, Lauren's parents receive a phone call from the university's track and field coach telling them news that no parent ever wants to hear.
And I said, "Is she okay?" And he said, "I'm sorry, she's not. She's gone."
It was like trauma, like getting hit by a baseball bat.
Lauren's parents and her friends are in disbelief. The whole school community is in a state of shock. Days after her passing, the school holds a vigil to grieve the loss of Lauren.
Remarkable, talented young woman whose bright life was ended on Monday in a senseless act of violence.
Lauren McCluskey was an outstanding young woman. She was a joy to coach.
Matt and Jill McCluskey are in disbelief at how the campus police department could have overlooked their daughter's repeated pleas for help, pleas that seemed to go unheard. Facing widespread criticism, the university holds a controversial press conference where the president states that there was nothing the campus security could have done to prevent Lauren's tragedy.
This report does not offer us a reason to believe that this tragedy could have been prevented.
I think the statement defies logic. It defies facts.
Outraged by the university's response and driven to ensure nothing like this ever happens again, the parents file a lawsuit against the university, believing it failed to protect their daughter and hoping to reform the university and create positive change in her name.
Do not want to be in this world without Lauren, but being stuck here, I have no choice but to try to make this world better. It is with the greatest reluctance that we have chosen this last resort of legal action. Our only profit will be the somber satisfaction of saving lives.
Matthew and Jill McCluskey create the Lauren McCluskey Foundation with a mission to bring campus reform and enhance the security of students across the world.
All the proceeds of this settlement will go to the Lauren McCluskey Foundation. It will make the world better and make the students across the country much safer.
Thanks for watching, Slay Site. Don't forget to subscribe for more updates.